This week's episode of Headhunted in Another World, Salaryman, just blew my mind. Best episode, best arc, hands down, no questions asked. And there's so many moments in this episode that are just great by themselves. And you would think the whole Temu crystal dilemma, how did this pig end up with crystals? Are they fakes? Nope, turns out they were without a doubt genuine crystals. Unfortunately, he just stole them because apparently the crystals weren't where we last saw them, because I think this kind of will throw people for a loop. When we established the crystals, it looked like they were above ground. Turns out we actually buried them. Not the best idea, I guess, going forward because they're easily stolen, but yeah, so you just take them, steal them, and sell them for whatever you want because you got them for free. It's all profits. This pig screwed us over, and then we ended up doing the Tenmu crystals to him, so when he sold it to the king, he basically was going to get the death penalty. Only for Uchimura to pop up and say, nah, we're going to keep this pig alive. Not only are we going to give him a backstory that says, oh, okay, actually, maybe he was a little greedy, maybe he did some sly, shady shit, but he's actually a genuine guy with a good heart when it comes to his own family that he adopted. Not even biological. People he adopted that were in war-torn countries. And you can't really kill this guy because if you do, literally your only access to this golden powder, which you need in order to keep up gold production, will go out the window because the place you get it from only sells it to this guy right now. The fact that we have a businessman who can look at a king who is in complete murderous rage, dead in the eye, make him laugh so hard that he says, I need a nap, and this pig looks at him saying, this must be the most powerful man in the entire kingdom, and he looks at you and says, actually, I was scared shitless that whole time. How are people sleeping on this greatness? Make it make sense. Of course, you want to support my work, see my full thoughts on the episodes. You know we got the Patreon, full live reactions available exclusively over there if you're so interested. So, wowzer, man. If you would have told me last week I would come out of this episode wanting to see more of this freaking pig, I would have laughed so hard. I would have laughed harder than that king when he went for his nap. Because when he got caged up and I thought we were about to sizzle up some bacon, I was excited. So to see our boy stop it, I'm like, yeah, man, it's one of those scenes. All right, yeah, we probably got to keep him alive. We need him, but he's going to be still a shady bastard. No, apparently he had a whole damn... It's like, why'd you have to show the family, man? Once you show the family and how he genuinely is a good dad, it's like, yeah, he made some mistakes, but give him a freaking shot, I suppose. And the worst part, too, is, yeah, like, he really would be useful if you think about it. He has connections. He's an established trader. He goes places where no one would. And yeah, he'll make the distribution of these crystals a lot more organic because, you know, our boy's going to be in a lot of meetings. He can't always do it himself. Having a partner with already established trade connections means we don't have to go to every single location, prove they make sense. If this man brings you a crystal, you're going to buy it most likely. Makes sense. Really does. Before I forget though, we do have to give a highlight to the Amandra scene. This girl was fully convinced she was about to become a woman. She was going to get dicked down. She was a little confused why we were out in the middle of nowhere, but maybe he just wanted privacy. She started the thought being like, I shouldn't get my hopes up, but the longer it went on, within the span of like 30 seconds, she was convinced, I'm going to go tell Alulu that I became a woman tonight, and instead we fought thieves. She immediately had so much pent-up anger because she wasn't going to release that pent-up energy in other fun ways that she was ready to kill a thief, and then obviously we see where it developed. Fantastic. The reveal, though, about what happened with the crystals was good, because I did see some people predict last week that maybe he stole them. The reason I wasn't really up on the stolen route is because the last time we saw them establish the crystals, they kind of like laid them out in a formation. Now, I'm not saying I didn't expect them to reinforce them or something, put them in a container. Like, I don't know, think of like a street lamp, right? Like maybe they did something like that. But if they completely buried them, yeah, there's nothing to really, assume otherwise because you don't know if it's been dug up in the middle of the night. So the idea that you could just steal them and sell them for profit makes complete sense. But I love how the whole idea of, like, my thought was we had the Temu crystals situation where we got the cheap bullshit that he was buying. No, he sold our own crystals to this king for way cheaper And then what ends up happening once we predict where they're going to steal them, we just swap them with fakes. Very believable looking fakes, like when you log onto a Temu page and you think you're going to get a Rolex for $20. Looks great on paper, but in execution shatters without much struggle. It's great because it immediately shows, and I think what I thought we were building into our boy slapping his dick down a little hard, being like, hey, clearly we are the only ones who can produce this. You screwed us over, now we want more money. I thought we were going to get into a really hard scene like that. No, instead, we got something way more valuable than extra money for the crystals we're selling this guy. Instead, we have an established relationship with another nation who should be our enemy, even if we're trading partners. At the end of the day, conflict of interest. Our boy's like, aren't you just supposed to do nice things because they're nice? And just like, he's naturally healing the world with his peaceful aura. But the biggest reward we got in this episode was actually this pig. I thought, for sure, we were going to deal with him here and he would come back like before the season was over with an even bigger, scummier plan. The first time we saw him, it looked like he was screwing over Mom and Pop's shop. Yeah, he's a greedy bastard, and yeah, he's money hungry, but it seems like he does have a genuine heart when it comes to a lot of different situations, whether it's people in war-torn countries and the like. It's just, yeah, he chases the biggest dollar. I get it. Made mistakes. But we clearly have an ally that's going to be irreplaceable, because really when he was building into why this king needed him, I thought he was crazy. I was like, he's a merchant. You can just hire another merchant to get you this powder. No, we can't, because they're like literally so locked down that they only trust this guy because he already has an established relationship. The fact that he's actually that invaluable, it's just, it makes sense. It immediately flips my tune so hard that I say, what a freaking twist. Of all the characters you could try to make me say, I'm gonna think this guy is a trusted, like, I thought at most, by the end of the season with where we were building him, maybe I trust this guy. And before the episode wrapped up, I trusted this guy. At first, I thought to myself, damn, who slept with this pig? Because he has a bunch of elven cutie daughters. Who's sleeping with a pig? And then they casually dropped the bombshell that no, he adopted a bunch of people who, I'm like, oh my god. Why are you doing this, boss? Like, why are you making me like this freaking pig? I was ready to sizzle him up like he was a plate of bacon. His rolls had rolls. You know that bacon would taste nice. And now I'm thinking he might be one of the best characters in this show. Underappreciated, undervalued isekai. Salaryman I knew was going to be a banger ever since I read the damn title of the show, but it went from just a silly fun show that I thought it'd be into stuff that has this economic warfare that is just done so well. Best arc, best episode, hands down, no questions asked. Need I say more? You let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of this amazing episode, and what are you thinking of Mr. Piggy? Do let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Nathan Matthews, Charles X, Karasu JP, Jonathan, Earl888, Austin Citizen, Nicholas Geischer, Eric Cheats Robinson, and we also have a Guy Palace. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.